This ground clearance is so unbelievably low, almost as unbelievably low as the price that Verreal is selling this 12S4P board for. It has been a while since Verreal received many spotlights, and our team almost forgot the brand existed. For those who are not familiar with Verreal, it is an affordable brand that has been around since 2018. Verreal has had a knack for keeping it simple, only investing in parts that had the most impact on the riding experience, skimping on everything secondary or cosmetic, and passing the end results to the customers at a low price. That being said, we haven't heard much about the $999 Verreal RS Ultra that we are reviewing today, but we are pretty much expecting the same formula. But first, let's run through the specs. Starting off with the deck, the RS Ultra has a double drop deck made from 6-ply Canadian maple, 2-ply fiberglass, and 2-ply bamboo. We love double drop decks, and the low to the ground ride feels that double drop decks offer. The deck features a good W concave, which is very comfy and snug for foot placement. I was expecting Verreal to skimp out on the quality of the deck, but this one looks like it was made with good material. The board length enclosure, however, is bad news. It means the board has zero flex and is stiff as hell. While it's good for those who like the responsive and stable feel of a stiff deck, it is bad news for us, as every team member of ESHQ would much prefer a flexible deck. But on second thought, with such low ground clearance, the board probably couldn't afford to have flexibility anyway. So maybe this is a feature, not a bug. Next, hiding inside those full-length enclosures is a huge pack of 12S4P Molicel P42A. This means 16.8 amp hours at 725.8 watt hours, which is a crazy big pack as we only expect 12S3P for a board at $999. And you can't ask for a better quality cells than the trusty Molicel P42A. Verreal RS Ultra package came with a standard 2.5 amp charger, and for $100 more you can get the 6 amp charger, which halves the charging time to under 3 hours. The Verreal RS Ultra has a marketed range of 40 miles or 60 kilometers. For context, this is 20% more range than the $1,199 X-Way Flex 2 Pro was marketed for, with its 12S2P Samsung 50S 432 watt-hour battery. Moving on to the ESC, Verreal has always been sticking with the tried and true Hobbywing ESC, which comes with 4 speed settings, meaning it has the exact same smoothness of control as premium brands that are priced a lot higher. For those who are not familiar with Hobbywing ESC, it is the most popular electronic speed controller that's proven to deliver perfectly smooth and intuitive speed control. It also has a smart turn-on feature, meaning the board powers on automatically when the remote is turned on. It's paired with the latest standard Hobbywing remote, which is pretty comfortable and fairly good looking. As for the motor, the RS Ultra is running on a hefty 6374 170 kilovolt dual 4000 watt belt motor. These are pretty solid specs for motors and more than capable of providing good torque for an all-terrain setup. We actually know that for a fact, as they are the exact same motors donned by the infamous Meepo Hurricane, and that board had already made a name for itself as one of the more powerful AT boards. It's marketed to reach a top speed of 32 miles per hour or 52 kilometers per hour, which we managed to hit in our tests. As expected, if you want a bash guard for the motors, they are a paid add-on, as Verreal tends to want to trim all the excess fat to keep the price to a minimum. As for the trucks, Verreal went with DKP cast trucks. While we would prefer a forged truck for a board that can go 32 miles per hour or 52 kilometers per hour, obviously Verreal's priority is to keep the retail price as low as possible. Anyways, we hope that this DKP truck is at least amongst the better ones, which can balance ease of turning and stability well. We will find out in our ride test later. The default is 105mm Mad Wheels V2, but they also offer 150mm pneumatic wheels as an option. This is our first time riding on Mad Wheels, but these wheels have been making a name for themselves lately.
I'm about to make a name for myself here.
And many Chinese brands have started to use Mad Wheels as stock options for their mid to premium priced boards. We look forward to trying them out for the first time. As we suspected, Verreal sticks to its usual modus operandi and gives us a board with a giant battery and powerful motors that is beyond what was expected at $999. But we were also surprised that we didn't notice any corner cuts. Unlike rubbish brands from Amazon or AliExpress, Verreal is smart enough to insist on putting the gold standard Hobbywing ESC into their boards, and putting Mad Wheels V2 as the stock option wasn't exactly a cost-cutting move. That means as long as the truck is good and the skate parts come together well, Verreal RS Ultra should be a decent, if not above average ride with amazing range and power. So that is what we want to find out in the final part of our video, the riding experience. It took us just a minute on the board to know Verreal made great choices in putting the board together. First, the low riding height with the double drop deck, plus the double kingpin truck, means that this board felt super agile and zappy. The Mad Wheels were amazing too. They felt very similar to the boosted 105S, whose OEM version had been making rounds recently. Maybe the Mad Wheels is even based on that. We were just guessing here. But what we do know is that they are super soft and super grippy. They took away 80% of all the road vibrations, something that we thought would have been a death sentence to this board considering its full board length enclosure, which gives the deck zero flex. With this setup, road vibration is barely felt. We also love the ride feel from its soft, grippy wheels. These soft wheels felt great when carving. However, the wheels aren't big enough to give us a safe ground clearance. We bottom out every time we ride over road bumps, and we wonder how long this enclosure is going to survive, given that we ride in places with quite a lot of bumps. 120mm wheels may give more leeway, but of course, you could just go with the 150mm pneumatic wheels option and never worry about bottoming out ever. Another thing that was better than we had expected was the Hobbywing ESC. We expected Verreal to just throw in the latest stock Hobbywing ESC and call it a day, but they seem to also put some good customization into it, and the fastest S Plus mode is more powerful than what the default Hobbywing ESC typically feels. This is great as the lower riding height makes it easy to maintain balance, hence the extra kicks make it extra fun without any downside. Speaking of balance, we are happy to find that the double kingpin trucks here are amongst the good ones that found a good balance between ease of turning and stability. Carving on the Verreal RS Ultra is really fun, yet we can ride fairly fast at around 28 miles per hour or 45 kilometers per hour without wobbles and without the need to further tighten the trucks. All in all, when it comes to riding experience, there's nothing that we can point to that was second class to premium brand. Whether it is the power, maneuverability, responsiveness, or ride comfort, Verreal RS Ultra is at the same level as any premium board. It is even a more interesting ride as compared to most boards, thanks to the aggressively low riding height. Verreal has been an afterthought to us for a few years now, so we are pretty surprised by how much we like the RS Ultra. Compared to its quote-unquote full-priced competitors, we didn't see any obvious flaws with the RS Ultra, except perhaps it went with cast truck instead of forged trucks. While the board doesn't have the tip-top polish and packaging and has less bells and whistles than other 2024 boards, no RGB lights on this one. Our riding experience on it has been nothing but top tier. Factoring the big battery that it has, we could safely say that at $999, nothing currently beats the value that the Verreal RS Ultra offers. As always, if you are looking to buy a Verreal board, or actually any e-skate, be sure to use our affiliated discount code with the link below. It will help you get a small monetary discount and helps us out too. You'll also be tagged as an Electric Skateboard HQ customer and probably be treated better. Ride safe, guys.